The Digital Photography Cafe show is brought to you by Focus Pyramid, the autofocus lens calibration tool for your camera.
Welcome to the Digital Photography Cafe show. Join hosts Trevor Current and Joseph Christina as they serve up the hottest photography news and commentary.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. This is episode 148. I'm Joseph Christina here with my co-host Trevor Current. On last week's episode, we talked about Panasonic's wearable action camera, Blackmagic's cinema camera self-combusts, the Business Software Alliance steals photo for their own ads, and Nikon will replace your defective D600. If you haven't watched last week's show, I encourage you to do so. You can find it at digitalphotographycafe.com and our YouTube channel, youtube.com/dphotocafe. Listen with the popular Stitcher, TuneIn, and Xbox music apps, or subscribe through iTunes or RSS.
Hey, Joe, we're back. How you doing, my friend?
We're here. Good. I'm doing well. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. You know, every week
you sound good.
Kind of a little better, you know?
Yeah, every day a little better.
Every day a little better. I got some hot tea going in my throat, so hopefully that'll kind of clear up things a little bit. Maybe I sound a little bit better this week than I did last, and hopefully it'll just keep getting better and better so I get back to normal. Absolutely.
So before we even get started, we have a really thick show.
Yeah.
A lot of material. So we're going to kind of blast through it because there's a lot of topics, and we're thinking about taking out some things, right, Trev? And we're like, you know what? We're just going to give them everything. We'll just do it.
Yeah, we'll just do it quicker. Yeah, we'd rather give you the news and the updates and the cool important stuff than just blow through it or skip it or what have you. We'll just do it a little bit quicker. That's all. So we'll start with a viewer email. So this was big news. This was a big thing. We got an email from our viewer Dave, who was, needless to say, extremely disappointed that we dropped the iTunes and RSS feed last week.
Right.
He is a longtime viewer and subscriber. So because he's a subscriber, he got a short little video that says, we moved, we no longer, the feed is no longer here. Head over to our YouTube channel to get the video.
Right.
Yeah, he was disappointed about that. He really liked being able to access the video, download it through iTunes, have it on his iPad so he could watch it without being connected to the internet.
Right.
We get it. We really do.
Yeah.
And, we certainly, know that this may be an inconvenience to some people, but, Joe and I have made a business decision here as to why we needed to do this. And really the benefit of it, though, is with the video being on YouTube, and we can focus on YouTube rather than multiple channels for the video to live out. We can really build the YouTube audience. But I guess the biggest benefit is that YouTube is available on everything.
Yeah, internationally, on every device, on just about every new TV that comes out there, every DVR, every DVD player, everything. Yeah. Everything has YouTube these days. So we want to be everywhere and make it as easy as possible for people to get us. So we did not remove the RSS feed for the audio. You guys will still be able to subscribe through iTunes. That's still there. But for video, you're going to have to do it through YouTube. But listen, Dave, we got something for you and for everyone as far as watching YouTube videos offline. And this we all have this issue. We're like, well, we're going to go on a trip and we're not going to have really good connectivity. Our Wi-Fi is going to be either gone or we're not going to have it at all, or we don't want to go and kill our data connection right to our monthly cell connection. So we got for you guys a couple of apps for not only your like iPhone or smart device, but also for your computer to be able to download YouTube videos, ours, hopefully.
Yes, that's
but any other ones that you want to watch offline. So let's start out. There's 3 of them on the iPhone that we use. 2 of them I use, 1 of them that you use. It's Pro2B is one. That's one of them that I use. That's Pro2B, and that's Tubee. Don't fret here. It's going to be in the show notes. You'll be able to click on something and just get straight away over there. Also, MyTube is one that you use.
Yeah. I've used that. That's a free app as well. They do have
Right.
a pro version to get rid of the ads and stuff, but you really don't need that. The free version works
No.
fine. It will actually cache the video right on your device. It makes it
Exactly.
great for watching offline.
And all of these do that. They
Yep.
cache the video onto your phone. One last one is ViaTube.
Yep.
That one is also free. That one only allows for 3 videos to be in your, let's say, playlist on your phone, cached. And then after that, you have to delete one to put another one in there. Or you could pay $2.99, and then you could have an unlimited supply of offline videos to be able to watch. So those are 3. There's actually probably like 10.
There's a
if you
bunch
go
of them on there.
There's a ton.
Yeah.
So that's starting out. That's with your smart device. We're focusing on the iPhone, but we're certain these type of software packages, these apps, will also be on your Android device. Now on the computer, right? There's a whole litany of ones that you can use.
So there's one that's called YTD Video Downloader. That's a Windows, Mac compatible application. It's free. We've got Clip Converter. That's a web-based and Windows and Mac app. That's also free. We got Clip Grab. That's Windows and Mac. It's free.
Yeah, one of the ones for all of our Windows people, only Windows, would be vDownloader as well as FS Video Downloader. Those are a couple. And finally, ATube Catcher. So these are just a few. There's actually a whole bunch more that we're going to put into the show notes, so you guys can go direct there if you have a Mac OS X, or if you have a Windows machine, or if you just want to use a web-based application to do it. We'll have everything for you there. And so it'll help you to be able to get our show easier, and then other shows too, because we know many of you guys want to be able to watch YouTube offline. Well, now here's an easy way to do it.
That's right. You could just download the stuff to your device while you have, good Wi-Fi connection at home or in the office. And then when you leave, you go into, that disconnected mode and hit the play button, you know?
It's awesome.
Works
So anyways, moving forward, guys, Microsoft Office for iPad.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Office for the iPad. Do we really, do we need that? What? They hit 12 million downloads.
Yeah.
It's like after a week or so, it's after a very short period of time. It's amazing how many people are downloading this application. But what I don't understand, Trev, is why the only thing that the application allows you to do is view your Microsoft Office documents. It doesn't allow you to manipulate them. If you want to manipulate, what do you have to do? Pay money, right?
Yeah. Well, so I guess the advantage here is Microsoft Office is the standard when it comes to, Word files, doc files, presentations, spreadsheets. There's no doubt. I mean, that is the industry leader. So, at least being able to view these documents on your iPad or your iPhone or what have you, is good. And honestly, being able to just run a PowerPoint presentation from your device, plug it into a projector or a smart screen or something like that for a presentation, works out great. But yeah, if you do want to edit, then you got to pay, of course.
Yeah.
And there's,
so that means you have to get
like 7 different plans ranging
of
from
course.
$5 a month to $22.
Right. So basically, it's Office 365 is what you have to subscribe to. So, like you said, $5 to $22 to be able to edit on your iPad. I don't know. I wonder what their conversion rate will be of the 12 million downloads. I wonder if 11 million of the people didn't realize that they can't edit.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. A lot of people don't read all of the descriptions fully when they download these apps. So they probably thought, oh, wow, cool, I can create presentations. No. It's just viewing.
Can't do that. Yeah.
So, another alternative, of course, to Microsoft Office is Google Docs and Google Drive.
Yes.
And actually, Joe and I we've been using Google Docs and Drive for quite some time. But, we announced on the show a few weeks ago that Google Drive has upped their free storage limits now to 15 gigabytes. I mean, that's a lot. And we found that it is really fast. It's
super fast.
It's really fast. I mean, for this show, for example, I upload a video file and an audio file to Google Drive. I have a really fast internet connection here. I've got like 2 megabits up. So it gets over to Google in no time. Joe has a fast download and can download them in a matter of minutes. You know?
Yeah, it's amazing. We used to use our own server for this, guys, and it was just slower. Then we used some other services that were just
Dropbox.
Let's just say
Dropbox
let's just say
but
hit
it's
or
very
miss.
slow with the syncing.
Oh my goodness.
This is fast. So that's one really big benefit.
Yeah.
But
this is like production fast, right? You can
really
actually
is, yeah.
collaborate without a problem
Yeah.
with this type of speeds. Absolutely.
yeah, it really is. I mean, but in addition to the storage, of course, you have, the Google Docs for your word processing. You've got, your spreadsheet program. You've got your presentation program. So
Right.
if you don't want to go the Office route, or if you're not a Mac user and or more to the point, you don't want to pay for iWork or what have you and work in Apple's apps, these are good options.
Yeah. They're amazing, the apps that Google has. I'm kind of getting to be kind of like a Google fanboy. I really like their products. They do them well, and they just simply work. They're very simplistic, and they just work. They're nothing too complex, but they're powerful at the same time. And like you said, you have Word, you have spreadsheets, you have like a slideshow type of presentation program, and this is all online. You don't have to get Office 365 or, like you said, iWork on the Mac side. You can use Google for these things. What I like is it saves like 30 days of the documents that you're working on behind, like in the back, so that, let's say if you're screwed something up, you can say, oh, well, let me see what I did yesterday and bring that back.
it
Or what did
saves
I
the
do
revision.
a few hours ago? All the revisions. So that's really powerful. That is very, very powerful, So I really like it a lot. It's great for collaboration, and it might be something that's good enough for what you guys are doing for office work. Obviously, if your main thing is doing Office and you need Microsoft's Excel, let's say, then obviously you're not going to be using this. But for just basic Office, this is a really good alternative. Also, OpenOffice is a really good alternative, which is free. That they do a really good job with, that you can download for free. And it works cross-platform from Linux to Windows as well as OS X. So that's something to look into also.
We did find that the Google Chrome browser is really optimized for using Google Docs. It gets a little quirky with Safari, the same with Firefox, on the Mac. So I know that if you do end up using it and you use the Chrome browser, you usually get a little bit better of an experience.
Yeah, copy paste and these type of things just simply work in Chrome, but when you're using Safari and some other, it bonks.
Yeah.
It works, it doesn't work, it's kind of like annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways, guys, that's that. Let's go ahead and take a quick break to hear from one of our sponsors.
Are you frustrated with slightly out of focus images when you know your autofocus spot was dead on? It's simply not your fault. From manufacturer to manufacturer, and even lens copy to lens copy, there are slight variances to the exact spot where light is being focused onto the sensor. Finally, there's a product that allows you to compensate for those variances and make sharper images immediately. Focus Pyramid, the autofocus lens calibration tool, is an absolute must for every photographer. If you want to make the sharpest images possible, then you need to take control over your camera's focusing system. With the Focus Pyramid, you can calibrate all of your lenses on your lunch break. The Focus Pyramid makes lens calibration quick and easy at an affordable price. So give your lenses a new lease on life and take your photography to the next level. Head over to focuspyramid.com/DPC and get an additional 10% off just for being a show listener.
All right, so we're back, and there is another little news bit that hit this week for you iOS 7 and 7.1 users out there on the iPhones and iPads. There is a security flaw in the OS that apparently, with a little workaround, a couple clicks here and there and stuff, people can actually bypass the Find My Phone feature if you're using that in conjunction with iCloud, so you can track your phone if you ever got stolen or lost.
Yeah, not good if you're using it as a security feature, as a deterrent,
Right.
or a method of finding your phone if for some reason someone steals it. So yeah, they'll be able to kind of swipe right in, shut off, Find My Phone, and then that's the end of that. They could format the phone, and call it a day. Now it's gone, it's off radar, and there's no way to find it anymore. So, yeah, the thing that you need to do here, just simple. It's not really a big deal. Just make sure that you passcode, do a lock on the device when you turn the device on.
Yeah.
You should have to enter in some type of passcode to get in, and that will at least put a front line of security before they get in. Because the problem with it is when you shut off Find My Phone, it should actually ask you for a code, but it doesn't.
Right.
Well,
that's
so
the flaw.
that doesn't help.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a flaw.
Yeah, that's the flaw. They can bypass the turning it off, because they don't need the passcode. That's the problem. So, yeah, I mean, I totally recommend having that home screen passcode in there. It's 4-digit code. It's easy to remember. Just put something in there that you use, your PIN, your phone number or something. But, get it in there, have that lock screen. You can still hit 911 in an emergency. You can still get to your camera if you want to do it quick. But definitely have that in there, and then just keep it up to date. Because obviously now that this is a known flaw, Apple will be pushing an update shortly. So
yeah, it's right around the corner. By next week, we'll probably be reporting on it that there is an update.
Yep.
So moving on, iOS 8, wow, as well as iPhone 6, double wow, to be announced, right? WWDC right around the corner. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. So WWDC is scheduled for June 2nd through the 6th. This is always this is a worldwide developers conference for Apple. This is where all the programming geeks go and stuff, all the app developers and all of the, Mac OS app developers and all. But they always have some kind of cool announcement, either with software or hardware. And so rumor has it they're going to be announcing iOS 8 and iPhone 6 at this event, and that they both will be available in the fall. Probably
I guess
later.
I guess the question is, do you care? I don't know. For me, I'll tell you, I've been an Apple guy since the very, very beginning. I still have an Apple II Plus.
Right.
If anyone is that old, they will know. That's like from the 80s.
Yep.
So I've been an Apple guy for a long time. And honestly, the iPhone is just, it's just a bit lackluster to me now. There's other brands, like, for example, the Samsung that we're talking about all the time, that are just innovating and just doing just crazy stuff on a regular basis, where it just feels that Apple's doing more of the same continuously. Since Jobs left, it's just not the same. It just doesn't feel the same. So I don't know. I'll be eager to see what they do with the new iPhone as well with the new iOS, but they're going to have to improve the screen itself. They're going to have to make the screen bigger, because it seems that's what people want.
Yep.
Faster, the usual stuff. But then also they're going to have to start getting with the program with NFC, with a lot of these features that like the Samsung has that they don't. And also what Samsung's doing, which I really like a lot, is they're building hardware up internal to the phone that is not even out as of the release date. And what they do is they'll turn on features as this time goes on. So maybe 3 months later, all of a sudden they'll give you a new feature.
Right.
That is actual hardware-based feature, but it wasn't turned on before. And then 6 months later, they'll give you something else new. Always keeping it fresh and new instead of it just kind of getting old. By the time a year and a half has gone by with the iPhone, you're like looking at it, you're like, gee, I don't know, this is getting long in the tooth.
Right. Well, that's the thing. I mean, the hardware is key. I mean, we get into these phones, we're locked into these phones for 2 years, and the hardware becomes obsolete basically after a year, you know, and we're always looking for the next device. I mean, they have some programs now where you can kind of get out of the phones and stuff early and what have you. But, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, Apple really needs to hit it big with this iPhone 6. I think there's a lot of people who are feeling this lackluster with them and these devices, and they're really looking for something, beyond where they are right now. I mean, beyond the 5S, the screen size, supposedly it's going to have a 5.5-inch screen. And if in fact that is the case, I mean, that's huge. That's significantly bigger than the iPhone 5 and 5S. Yeah. So I mean, that I think could really help push people in the right direction. But we have to wait and see what they introduce.
You just don't know. Well, we will see. It's right around the corner for sure.
Yep.
So moving on, kind of interesting. We're always looking for another Kickstarter that is photographic in nature, right, Trev?
Yep.
Well, we found another one, and it's by someone that we interviewed like a year or so ago, right?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting this time around because rather than this being a startup company doing a Kickstarter to try and get funds to get a product released, this is actually coming from LensBaby. They're an established company. They've been around for a while, producing all those DSLR creative lenses with selective focus and all kinds of tilt shift and all kinds of really cool stuff. But this time around, they're running this Kickstarter, and they actually have built a selective focus lens for the iPhone.
Yep, tiny, and it attaches to the iPhone with a little magnetic back,
Right.
Like most of the iPhone lenses do these days.
Yeah.
Or smartphone lenses do these days. They either clip on or they attach with a little metal ring and magnets, and that's what this does. It's kind of neat. I like it. Looking at some of the images that came out of it, is it something that I would use? Probably not.
No.
I think it's a really cool idea. I know that this Kickstarter will definitely be able to come up with the money. I think it was like $20K, and they're already up to like
$20K was the goal, and at the time of recording this, they were like over 15, and there's like 20 something days left. So
so there's no problem.
yeah, I mean they're definitely going to hit it. I agree with you. The problem with these types of lenses, especially a selective focus lens, is they are so small. They don't have the real estate to really get a really nice, and slightly larger sharp focus area and have enough of it vignette out into blur to really, get a good feeling of what's happening. I mean, the lens is so small, the sharp focus section is so small that it just, you kind of lose the effect a little bit.
Yeah, I have a couple LensBabies and I use it on my full frame, and they are just fun.
Yeah.
If you're bored with photography and you just need some type of creative spark, you throw a LensBaby on the camera and you go out there and just start shooting some stuff, and it kind of just replenishes you for sure. It's definitely fun, creative way to just come up with new stuff. So I like it. I don't know how it's gonna translate into the phone size, but we'll see. I'm glad they're doing it. I'm glad it's going to go through. So if you do invest, you know that it's going to actually go through, and you're going to get what you invested in,
That's
so
right.
to speak.
That's right.
So moving on, the EOS DX and the 1DX and the 1DC. They've been having problems with cold weather issues where autofocus just doesn't work. And, I'm the autofocus guy. I hate this. This is like annoying. So if it's cold, these cameras just don't focus. They will not autofocus.
Yeah, there's definitely a big problem with them. The autofocus has turned into a big issue. I mean, okay. The serious professionals are going to have these very expensive cameras. The average photographer is not going to. So for most people, this is probably, not really a big deal.
Non-issue.
But this is very significant to those with these high-end cameras who are trying.
Yeah,
to
they're paying
shoot in cold weather.
$5,000-6,000, right?
Yeah.
$5,000-6,000 for a body, and you're taking them out to somewhere that it's cold, and now you can't, grab focus. That's
Right, exactly. So basically, what you have to do, send it back. Just like we've been talking about the Nikon D600 over the past couple of weeks. Send it back. They're gonna fix it. Send it back. Send it back again if you're still having problems.
Yeah, Canon's good like that. Nikon's good like that. Just send it in, and they will repair it for you. So
they're gonna fix it.
Yeah. Amazon launches Fire TV. This is kind of interesting. I like this a lot because I like these little set-top mini boxes for doing different things, right?
Yeah, it's a media streaming box, and it's got built-in Bluetooth.
Right.
So it's the remote is Bluetooth rather than IR or what have you, and it also supports voice search, which is interesting.
Yeah. And how it does that is because it's sitting there running quad-core processors with two gig RAM dedicated on the thing, which is nuts. So think of it as like a ITV, like a little Apple TV type of hockey
Roku
puck,
box
or a Roku, or
little
Boxy box, or it's the same type of thing, but it's by Amazon. And usually Amazon gets it. They are going to use this as another sales tool. So I'm sure the price is going to be right. I'm sure of it. It's going to support the 1080p, just like most, HDMI, blah, 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 all of the normal things that you're accustomed to, Wi-Fi, dual antenna. But what I like about it is they are going into a gaming type of realm. So they're going to sell a $39 wireless Fire, okay, hence the name Fire, game controller for it. And you'll be able to play games on this unit. And you're looking at Disney, Gameloft, EA, which is Electronic Arts, Sega. A lot of these big companies are going to be moving over games for this box. And they are coming out with their own company or their own internal department that's going to start creating games for this thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting, right?
It is interesting. Yeah. They're kind of taking this, they're taking a page out of Apple. They're looking at this set-top box. They're saying we've already got the built-in Kindle market. We've already got the Fire market, their color tablets. Right. Why not introduce this box? But let's do it a little bit different. And rather than it just stream Amazon Prime Video and Netflix and all the other type of stuff that everybody else is doing, hey, let's play games on it too. And I bet you, if it's not going to come out with it in the near future, I mean, you're going to be able to shop Amazon from it.
Absolutely.
And all that stuff. I mean, you'll be able to browse the entire Amazon store right from your TV. Yeah,
absolutely. And we know, or most of us know, that any type of OS, for example, its success is based on games.
Right.
The same problem with Linux. That's why Linux never really grabbed a foothold, is because you couldn't get really good Linux games because there wasn't any. They were all cheesy. Well, now, hence, Steam comes out on Linux, and now people can actually play games on Linux, on their Linux machine. So there's a little bit more people going towards Linux.
Right.
So the same thing with Windows to Mac. Mac has always been problematic. You can't get games or good games on Mac, or you get very few, or you get them years down the road. It's been that problem, whereas Windows. So the gaming mentality, the gaming market is so huge, it runs everything. So by them doing this, I like it because it turns this device not only into, like you said, something that you can watch, your Netflix and your Hulu and your YouTube and movies, and then rent movies and buy movies. But now you'll be able to play games too. It's like like their pad, where it's like, well, what do you do with that pad? Well, I can read books. Well, what else can you do?
Right.
I could read books.
Yeah.
And that's it,
Yeah, and you mentioned YouTube again. I mean, this is the point of us going to YouTube with the video, because all new devices coming out all support YouTube. They have to. YouTube is the number one place for sharing videos, getting videos.
Absolutely.
And if these devices don't support it, you're going to lose a huge audience. People aren't going to buy it. I mean, that could be one reason why people wouldn't buy a device, is if it doesn't support YouTube. So that kind of just reinforces the whole need and the idea of us moving our video over to YouTube. And, you guys get one of these devices, you can watch a show from it.
Yeah, anywhere, anytime. Absolutely. That's right. And internationally. So it doesn't make a difference where you are on the planet. So very, very, very good. So anyways, moving on, we always like to find like a fun little video or fun little piece. And I'm going to play this for you guys right now. And I really like this a lot. I know we were talking about it when we first saw this, and it's just really cool. So if you're watching, you'll actually be able to see this guy, and it looks like he's just walking towards the camera, and someone is following him as he's walking through, I think it's Tokyo.
Yep.
But everyone else in the entire shot is walking backwards.
Yeah, everything else is moving backwards.
Yeah. So it is so neat.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's very creative, and it's just fun to watch. I like the way they set it up, the way they put it together, because there had to be a few people on set, so to speak, telling him when he can walk backwards and when he should halt and not get run over or get smashed down by something. So
well, that was the whole trick to the video. He was actually being filmed walking backwards. And then what they did is they took the final video and reversed it. And so it made it look like he's walking forward and everybody else is moving backwards. And it's kind of funny that, to see it, it's like the entire world around him is moving backwards, except
it's
for him,
inverse.
you know?
Right. And he just did it really well. That's not easy to walk backwards and make it look like you're walking forward. You know, that whole motion. That's not easy. But he did it. It looks great. There's a guy here, he's pouring water on the floor and he's kind of pouring it, walking around him. Right. It's a little bit hard to see at first, but as it gets closer, you can see it. And it's just so cool.
And
so
the water is
actually
coming back
sucking
into the bottle as opposed to going out of the bottle. So
right.
Yeah. It's kind of like the the whole parallel universe type of thing. You know?
Yeah.
Bizarro.
And he never
world.
looks he never looks back once.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it even more perfect.
Yep.
You know? So very, very cool.
Yeah,
but
we'll
anyways,
have a link.
guys,
You can go check it out if you want. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So we need to get out of here, Trev.
Yes, we do. We're trying to keep the shows a little bit shorter and give you guys lots of information during the shorter time. So anyway, so Joe, if people want to connect with you outside of the show, what is the best way for them to reach you?
You can find me on Twitter, and that's at Joseph Christina, and that's Christina without an H.
Yes, and you can connect with me on Twitter. It's at Trevor Curran.
All right, everyone, we are out of here for yet another week. You can get all the show notes from this episode by visiting digitalphotographycafe.com/148. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/dphotocafe. And we will see you next week.
You've been watching the Digital Photography Cafe show with Trevor Curran and Joseph Christina. Subscribe to our YouTube channel with any compatible device by visiting youtube.com/dphotocafe. Be sure to subscribe to our audio feed through iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, and Xbox Music apps or through RSS. Visit digitalphotographycafe.com for show notes and to connect with your hosts.